Good afternoon. I was asked to talk today about strategic partnerships because I'm currently in my third startup. Each one, interestingly, has been very different. First one was an engineering consulting firm. Second one was a software company. And my latest company is an industrial process development company. So I would say don't ask. It's a genetic flaw. But the common theme through all of my companies has been strategic partnerships. The companies got started or were successful as a result of strategic partnerships early in the process and throughout the process. My first two companies are alive and well today, so I've managed to beat the odds a little bit, and I attribute a lot of that to strategic partnerships. So I'm going to give, in 5 minutes, some of the lessons I've learned in doing partnerships a number of times. The first one is, we generated this through the first company I had. We generated about $600,000 through a strategic partnership focused on revenue or through the pathway of revenue. And I would suggest when you're thinking about strategic partnerships, approach revenue first. It's non-dilutive, and the more practical and greater aspect to it is, as a startup, you invariably run out of money or come close to it. And as you kind of come to the end of the month with not enough money, you need to reach out to your partner and say, help. And if your deal is structured as a revenue-based deal, it's a lot easier for them to go to different pockets of money, pull in additional expense or revenue from their perspective, expense from their perspective, revenue to you, and help solve your problem. Because the key with strategic partnerships is that their success is very directly and almost exponentially related to your success. So different from venture capital success paradigms. So focus on revenue first. We did revenue in our first and second companies, and again, very important. In my second company, we raised about $1.5 million through a strategic partner. The structure for that was through advanced purchase of software licenses. But the lesson we learned there was we really did a good job in negotiating for what I'll call today. We negotiated and successfully navigated what our strategic partner wanted, what we needed to protect our interests, but we didn't put enough thought and effort into what I'll call negotiating for tomorrow. What does the relationship look like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and making sure we had the resources we needed to grow the company, grow our value proposition, and make the most out of the technology or the innovation that we had. The relationship worked out great. The company ended up buying us out for a nice sum of money, but we left money on the table because we didn't adequately fund ourselves through this partnership early on. So another interesting thing to think about. With this last company, Auterra, my most current company, we've raised to date $20 million. By the end of 2014, we will be in the 30 million range, and 20 million of that will come from strategic partnerships. Today, we've already raised 10 million from a single strategic partnership. But one of the things that we're doing in this case is we're approaching and looking for multiple strategic partners. So my takeaway for this is more is always better. I think Vikram's going to talk about more money isn't necessarily better, and I would agree with that. But when you're a young company and you don't have a lot of leverage, right? You don't have a large customer base. The primary thing you bring to the table is innovation that is of great value to a strategic partner. The thing you really want most when you're trying to negotiate the right or best deal for yourself is multiple strategic partners sitting at the table, everybody vying for your innovation. So getting more players to the table is an important aspect. And I'm going to finish there. Those are my stories. I hope you have a great afternoon.